Hey there, everyone. It's Mrs. D, and I'm here today with a video about switching from ESL to teaching native English speakers online. A lot of us are losing some jobs that we've had for quite a few years because of some industry changes, and we are looking at more platforms that are based in the United States that are targeting speakers of English already, speakers of English and more just kind of secular type, not ESL classes. So that's what this video is about. And I'm specifically advising about making application videos and then further making introduction videos for the platform that you're going to be working for. Let me first talk a little bit on a personal note about my personal background in coming into ESL. I was a teacher in brick and mortar settings for many years. I also had my own kids, so I was in and out of the classroom while I was going through that. And then I went to Ecuador for 7 years, and 4 of those years, I opened a school of my own and I taught in the classroom to live students. I never taught online. When I came back to the United States, I had to continue to stay home, and so working online was a good option for me that had never been there before because I'm kind of old, so or I'm getting old anyway. So I started doing research on some jobs that I could do online, and of course, English second language was one of the things that I was interested in doing. And when I first saw the ESL teachers online, like the videos they post of them teaching a class, I was just really surprised and really awed at what was happening, the way that they spoke, the body language that they used, and all of that thing. Because even when I was in the ESL classroom as a teacher physically, the I never did that kind of over the top ESL body language and speaking that we see in some of the videos. And I've actually never really gotten to that level. I always speak with my hands, so you'll see that a lot. And I do. If effective ESL, and I'm not the only teacher who has come from a background in a brick and mortar setting. And but what I want to say is that, we may have been doing this for so long now, 10 years, 5 years, even 2 years. We could be teaching ESL online for so long now that we kind of forget what it was like to interact with, American kids or kids that speak English every day in their lives and were born speaking, born listening and speaking English, learning to speak English. There are effective ESL techniques, and those could be finger chunking in the camera, using your camera space to get attention, pointing to your mouth and cupping your ear, and just all of this body language and an elevated voice so that you're standing out, the sound of you is standing out over everything else, and a very defined way of speaking. And those are the mannerisms that I want to address directly when we're talking about our application videos for other platforms that are native English speakers. They are not going to take kindly to speaking to someone who has mastered the English language because it is their first language in that manner. We have to be very careful when we're making our application videos to take that ESL component out of that. So remember what it was like to be in the classroom with students who speak English. Think about how you interact and speak with your children on a daily basis, or with your neighbors, or with your niece and nephew, or whatever children and people are around you in your English speaking world. We don't typically, I mean, we do carry over some of those mannerisms. We see Facebook posts all the time where we're talking to people and we give them the thumbs up and we make fun of ourselves for doing that because it's not typical in the English speaking world. So we want to remember that it's not as effective when we're going to teach N1 English and we're using ear cupping, or we're using or over the top speech, or overly slow speech. So watch out for that when you're doing your application video, because sometimes that's what they're not approved for on platforms like OutSchool. If it's an ESL tone to your video, it will be denied. And then if you find yourself not getting bookings, maybe you've passed the application process because you are interested in maybe teaching ESL, or your ESL tone didn't stand out enough for them to deny you, but you find yourself not getting bookings, go back and review your introduction video and your videos that you're using for your class clips, because it could be that you're speaking in that mannerism and you don't even realize it, because we've been doing it for so long that it's time that we have to start becoming aware of it and not continuing it on these types of platforms. So hopefully that little bit of advice will help. I'm sorry if this rambled a little bit too long, but I did feel like this needed to be addressed and put out there, and hopefully it will help you out with those application and introduction videos. See you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and look for other videos that might be useful to you. Thanks a lot.